long delayed wait. We finally made this date, and we're here for you again tonight, trying to do everything just right. But apparently, we had a few more of those pesky technical difficulties that have put us quite a ways behind schedule. But neither here nor there, we're going to do it on the square. So what we'd like you to do right now is go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel. You do it right below. Just hit that big red button. It won't hurt you. It won't cost you. Just to be able to find us when we're on. Or maybe I should say be notified when we're on the air. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get it on with our proverb of the night, words of wisdom, we should say, for the night. Words of wisdom for the night are coming right up. Bam. Growing up in America, we think of things as black and white. We have some very stark realities. Everything is either one thing or it's the other. It cannot be some of both. But what if things are really more gray than that? What if the whole world is a little bit more gray than that? What if there really is no fine line between life and death, black and white, up or down, north or south? What would our world be like then? And maybe it already is right now. Something to think about. Words of wisdom for tonight. Meanwhile, we're going to carry on with our story tonight, which is entitled The First Ones, Nehanda and Chaminuka. Nehanda and Chaminuka. And Nehanda and Chaminuka are straight out of Zimbabwean history, not folklore. This is right out of the history of the people of Zimbabwe. And yes, there are some connections to the supernatural. Matter of factual, we do have some things in here dealing with the supernatural. So let's go ahead and get it on with our slideshow and all. I don't know what this thing is doing here. Okay, everything wants to go haywire tonight. Nothing wants to do what it's supposed to do the way it's been doing. It wants to make me go and have to do extra work. I don't know why it's doing that tonight. Everything had been going along just peachy keen all the way up until tonight. Now all of a sudden, this thing is giving me some kind of fright. Don't understand this. Let's see, maybe I can do it like this here. Just trying to size this up so once we get this started, we won't have to stop and go and resize again. I don't know, everything was real good. It was all lined up there. Okay, we'll see if this does it. All right, we'll try. Shucks. And I'm getting another error message too. Okay, if our feed is buffering out there, we apologize for that. We've tried to fix it at least 2 or 3 times tonight, and I'm still getting a error message over here. So if this thing is, if our feed is buffering, dang, we apologize for that. I don't know what else to do with this thing here. Tried everything I could think of. I can see myself on there, but it does say that it's buffering for some unknown, ungodly reason. Don't know why it's doing that. All right. Let's try to get through the story tonight, and we'll have to work on this some more in a new day. Now, Nehanda, in America, like I said, we're used to everything being black or white, up or down, north, south, east, and west. We're not used to the subtleties of life. Okay? There's some things can be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and the other thing all at the very same time. So we're going to take you black, way black in time to the days of the great Zimbabwe and the first Nehanda. Long time ago in Zimbabwe, 400 long years ago at least, there lived a chief called Mutota, who ruled in what is now Chipuriro. He was a born ruler, and as his power increased, his kingdom became greater and was known as Mwanamutapa. The countries he had won were divided into areas, ruled over by his subordinates, who were all appointed by Mutota. Some of these rulers were his own sons or were married to his daughters. To strengthen the family ties, good rains came and there was plenty of food in the land. Great herds of antelopes and other animals roamed the country, and it was a time of plenty and prosperity. Near the border of Mozambique, along the pleasant Musangezi River, was a province of special beauty called Handa. This land was given by Mutota to his favorite daughter, Nyamhita, to rule on his behalf, and she later became known as Nehanda, the ruler of Handa. And she ruled well, for she was quite an intelligent young lady. But her father, Mutota, grew old. He felt that his death was near, and it was time to decide which of his many sons should succeed him. He decided that the right to rule should be decided by a ceremony called Kupinga Pasi, just as happened with the ancient pharaohs of Egypt. The king-to-be would have to marry his own sister. This was an act that the Mwanamutapa people looked upon with horror, unless the spirits approved. Those who attempted it would suffer terribly and die in disgrace and shame. There was only one son who felt that he dared to take this risk, Matope. The son who ruled the territory of Hwedza was confident that Mizimu, the tribal spirits, were on his side and that he was the chosen one. He went by night to visit his half-sister Nehanda. She also was Mutota's daughter, as we have seen, but she had a different mother. Matope was able to persuade her that his cause was just, and she agreed unwillingly to assist him in the ceremony of Kupinga Pasi. So it was done, and Mutope was declared the new king and was crowned supreme ruler of Mwanamutapa. The old man Mutota died and was carried by his mourning people to his burial at the place of the 8 small baobab trees, Tuyu Tusere, amongst the great rocks and caverns of the Zambezi Valley. Nehanda was there at his funeral and saw all that happened with an aching heart and tears of deep sorrow. Not only did she weep for her dear father, but she now felt certain that she had done something dreadfully wrong. She had meant to help her people, but had set about it with an act she knew to be sinful. She saw clearly that good cannot come out of evil. With hanging head and dragging feet, Nehanda set out to return to her home. Her friends walked behind her, almost afraid to speak. None of them knew what the future might bring should the Mizimu now have turned against them. You don't want the Mizimu to turn against you, that's for sure. Now, something very strange happened. The story was passed down by word of mouth, and I'm passing it on to you. Some say Nehanda and her party came within sight of her village, but she turned aside and began to climb the high rock kopje that stood nearby. As she reached the top, Nehanda struck the summit with her staff. There was a crack like thunder. The rocks split open, and she went inside, followed by her friends, and none of them were ever seen again. The hill where this happened is called Gumbora Nehanda, and the shape of her apron may still be seen at certain hours, outlined in the sunlight that falls on the rocky slope. For this reason, the hill is looked upon as a holy place, visited and reverenced by the northern Shona people down through the ages. Everyone agrees that Nehanda somehow disappeared, but in time, still another story arose that she had left her home secretly and made her way south to her mother's people, the Huata tribe, at Shabarunzi. There, she lived alone, a life of prayer and silence until her silent death. There is another shrine dedicated to the first Nehanda at Shabarunzi. It is known as Musoro wa Nehanda, the head of Nehanda. And the first shrine, the hill Gumbo Ra Nehanda, is called her legs, Makumbo a Nehanda. It is said that both places hold the awareness of her bold spirit, and spirit mediums who have carried on her tradition have come from both places. Nehanda has been so revered and even worshipped that some who have hoped to take her name have proved to have been mistaken or even to have been false mediums. But there was more to come. As the years went by, the Wanamatapa kingdom had come and gone. From the south came the great Ndebele warrior king, Mzilikazi, conquering all before him. And he ruled the area now called Matabele land, raiding any who opposed him. He was followed by his son, Lobangula. Once again, there were great changes. The white settlers brought with them new ideas and new customs. Roads were made and towns arose with schools and hospitals, following the missionaries who came to spread worldwide the Christian faith. Not all were happy with the changes. A woman named Chagwa from the southern shrine arose to become a spirit medium and leader of her people, taking the name of Nehanda. She and her followers called to the people of the Mazoe Valley and all the surrounding countryside to rise against the colonial government in what is now called the First Chimurenga, or war. At first, they seemed to be gaining some success. The outlying farms and mines were quite unprepared for attack, and homes were burnt, and men, women, and children were killed in the wave of violence. Others fled to the towns to prepare defense. However, it was not long before Nehanda, together with another spirit medium, Kaguvi, and 11 other men were captured and taken as prisoners to Harare. At that time, it was called Salisbury. They were tried as rebels and condemned to death. Nehanda showed courage, urging her people to fight on. She and the others were hanged on April 27th, 1898. It took a long time before the rising was ended, especially in the East, and the example of this resistance lingered on and was to motivate the leaders of the 20th century in the liberation war that was to come. Because of her high rank, her great love of her country, and her brave death, this later Nehanda is far more famous than the first. We even know what she looked like from a photograph taken of her in prison right before her death. She is known and honored as Mbuya Nehanda, or Mondera, Mother Nehanda, and is an inspiration to the young for her determination and her love for her country. Mbuya Nahanda shared with the first of her name great gifts of leadership and a willingness to risk anything, even her life, in the cause of what she believed to be true and right. For all this, we honor her as Zimbabwe goes into the 21st century. This is the true story of a famous Nyanga who lived in the days of King Lobangula. His name has been honored for over 100 years in Zimbabwe and in other countries of Africa. Why is he still remembered, and what really happened to him? We shall read and we shall see, but not tonight. Check back with us tomorrow night for the story of Chaminuka. So we'll be back tomorrow night with the story of Chaminuka, and hopefully a lot less delays due to technical difficulties, which apparently we are still having at this very moment. So we apologize for all of our technical, what's the word for it? Shortcomings. We apologize for all of our technical shortcomings. It has been a process. We've come quite a ways, but we still have a ways to go. And hopefully you will be able to come along on this journey with us. So make sure to subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel right here on YouTube if you haven't done that already. For all you little people out there, you know what you need to do. Just take your little head and lay it on your little pillow, on your little bed, and close those your eyes while you wait on that sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you'll know that it's time for you to rise and shine, oh children of mine. And in the meantime, may peace guide your way. Peace out without a doubt, with plenty of justice, because you got to have some justice, otherwise it disgusts us. Peace without justice is really just not the thing.